welcome to the 13th BelDocS International Documentary Film Festival. Today I'm talking with Barbora Berezňáková. She's director of the movie called Never Happened. It's obvious that you put a lot of investigative work into your movie. So let me start with a question. How much of this was known about the case of the murder of businessman Robert Ramirez before, and how much you have discovered while working on your movie?
This is a question, known or unknown. This was also for me very kind of difficult subject to figure out because, of course, addressing my audience, I had to kind of take into consideration what is known or unknown. But it's a tricky because everybody knows something else, and if I was trying to aim for younger audience, which should know about the recent past and maybe put together some to know some context, and so I was trying to find the right balance between giving enough context but also new information. And of course, new information was primarily the one connecting the past to the present.
In your movie, we can see that some people still are refusing to talk about this case, although it was happening in 1996. Was that a surprise for you?
It was, there is a lot of apathy in the society because exactly when these kind of things happen, they set a precedence about how dangerous things can be and how actually I have met a whole variety of reactions from as it's also depicted in the movie in the Q&A with the main protagonist, that some people don't know anything, some people are even like laughing about it, or some people don't want to talk because they're still scared. And I also during my shooting and during my work on the movie, this murder was 25 years old, but 2 years ago we had another murder, and that was the time when everybody realized, like, oh my god, how serious it still is. Because but people who were connected, I met many who would share information with me, but not on the camera, or they wouldn't even, people who live in the neighborhood where the kidnapping happened, they were even suspicious that I was there with the camera. So I think it's very variable. Some people are still scared, some people are apathic, some people don't care.
Your movie tackles several theories about who is behind the murder, and you explore all of them. And one of these theory is about a Technopole case and involvement of the kidnapped president's son in this case, and also the businesswoman who's accused of ordering the murder of journalist Jan Kuciak. Was that a shock to you? How did you came across these facts?
I was planning for a little bit different ending before the murder happened, but I knew that there was this key character because this entrepreneur, Kochner, he was a person who could just afford to do pretty much anything. He had some media under his control. He had a lot of contacts with politicians. He was collecting also materials for blackmail, he was just really like pulling the threads. And of course I would never imagine that it would have such a connection, such abrupt thing, but it really made my point even clearer. This connection with the present. It was very tricky because I was working on a movie which did not happen in the past. But during the process of research and also of shooting, I had to be very, very alert about the present situation because many things happened. Also, the amnesty was actually cancelled during my uh, the amnesty blocking whole investigation was actually cancelled during my shooting. So I wanted to be up to date, and still, as a filmmaker, you have to decide when do you finish shooting. So I was working on it, but still kind of thinking. Also, I was not making just investigation journalistic work with this movie, but I wanted to make some kind of deeper observation of society, like what happens when we say that these things never happened. That was more important for me.
This discovery was quite shocking, I think, for everybody who saw and will see this movie. And also one thread that goes throughout your whole movie is the lack of employment of rule of law. So when you think about all these 25 years, do you have the idea that if these cases were investigated on time, some of very bad things would never ever happen in your country?
Yes, exactly. Well, they were investigated. There is a more than pages file and a lot of testimonies about the case. And this is the thing that even the pigeons on the roof know what happened, but it's not officially claimed. And this is the problem. This is this kind of like I don't know how it is in other countries, but this discrepancy between like this public secret and the official statement or official state of the case claimed by the authorities. This discrepancy creates a lot of damage, and this well, of course, murder and kidnapping and all these very dramatic things are happening, but for me the worst is like the worst impact on society is actually this discrepancy because it creates a lot of frustration.
What are the reactions on your movie?
That was my movie was very controversial. I mean, like there was a variety of reactions. It had very high attendance in Slovakia, which I was also very lucky because somehow we had after the murder of the journalist, there was a lot of protests and a lot of kind of like uprising against corruption, and also these topics became very very popular finally. So we had a lot of the attendance in the cinema was very high, and also I was very lucky that it was all before Corona came. So I it was a good luck. And in the also a lot of media, I made like more than 30 interviews last year, and the reactions. I mean, it was critically very well received and acclaimed by critics. As also, I'm very very honored to have the national nomination for film awards. Uh, but also, it's a tricky movie because my goal was to combine politically engaged art film with somehow like poetic artistic interpretation of reality, which I haven't really seen. I have and it's not very popular because when people are going for some investigation or the topic suggests some investigation and crime, people are used to watch almost like news or and I understand that. So I think that people who this movie might be demanding for audience because people who expect some classical genre of a documentary film, they also some I can imagine that they were kind of perplexed or disappointed even.
Oh,
But generally, I'm happy with the reactions.
and how did you decide to combine this black and white scenery with white scenery. Was that something that was your initial idea, or it just came by while you were working on a script or while developing, and also hiring an actor to read through some script? So was that original scenario, or it just came after as
It was all conscious decisions. It didn't just happen. I had the idea also when we decided with the main protagonist Oscar, the witness of the kidnapping, when we talked about like, okay, let's make a movie, because first I was just researching topic. I didn't have a big plan of making some huge documentary or anything, and then we said like, okay, and it should be like noir, black and white, or like to enhance some kind of detective crime drama, like whodunit story, which at the end it is not it is not like typical whodunit crime resolved at the end, because it starts that way. It unfolds with the question of who murdered Robert Remias, but then it wraps around to different kind of topics which I was interested in. But all these were conscious decisions, and with the narrator of the film, who turns out at the end is an actor. It was I always imagined that there would be like someone would be narrating the story, but at the same time I wanted to depart from reality as much as possible, from my authentic situation, and because I was asking all these questions, and I was asking people, and some people, they told me the information, but they said, one of them specifically, he says, okay, I will tell you how it was, but don't use it in the film, because I don't know how to prove it. I don't have a proof, and I don't want to be in trouble. And I said like, okay, fine, but I really, really want to put this information there. And so he said, without knowing film work or film directing, he said, okay, you are a filmmaker, so use an actor. And I thought it was genius. So I used this as a principle, how to bring the actor narrator, who also allowed me to structure the story the way it works.
Again, congratulations on your movie. Can you tell us maybe what's your next plan? What are you planning to shoot in the near future? Or you're maybe working on something already now?
Yes, I am working on something already now. I'm actually planning. I have some documentary projects in the pipeline. I think I'm gonna make a documentary conceptual book about the street I live in, because it's old colony, and the society who lives there is very interesting, and it's also going through some transformation. But that's a smaller project. The bigger project, which is waiting for me, or which I have assigned myself, is a fiction film. So right now I'm working on a script for a fiction film with the working title Dead Horse.
Okay, we're waiting for that to be finished and to watch and enjoy. Thank you very much for joining us, and we wish you many good screens of this movie and many awards.
Thank you very much, and thank you to everybody for coming to see my movie, and thank you for your questions.